Welcome back to the channel name Hidden US Coins. There are treasures in this world that do not glitter in the way gold bars do. Treasures that fit quietly in the palm of your hand, that could slip unnoticed into a pocket, yet carry the power to change your destiny forever. Today we step into the shadowy corridors of America's hidden numismatic history, the top 10 ultra-rare Roosevelt Dimes, whose values in the modern auction market can soar into heights that make collectors tremble with anticipation. These coins are not simply metal. They are locked vaults of history, rare whispers from another era and gateways to wealth that most will only ever dream about. Every single coin we reveal today is more than rare, it is a once-in-a-lifetime find. If you own even one of them, you are holding an empire of value in your fingers. And as always, my channel is your most trusted guide to unveiling the truth behind America's hidden coinage, bringing you facts that others won't, and revealing opportunities that could put you in the center of a collector's bidding war. So sit tight, because the journey we are about to take will transform the way you see every dime in your pocket. First, coin number 1. Hidden in the rush of late 20th century coinage lies a marvel that most will never suspect, the 1989 Roosevelt Dime with the P mint mark, a coin that dances in silver and golden waves as if sunlight itself was trapped inside its metallic skin. Produced at the historic Philadelphia Mint, this dime entered circulation in an era when pocket change was often ignored, dismissed as mere loose coins. Yet, among the millions that rolled off the presses that year, only a microscopic fraction bore the exact combination of luster, strike quality, and preservation that makes this specimen one of the most desired by elite collectors today. The history of the Roosevelt Dime traces back to 1946, born from a nation's gratitude to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose leadership and fight against polio left an indelible mark on America. By 1989, the dime had long been a trusted workhorse in commerce, but in this particular issue, there was something exceptional. A rare blend of pristine surfaces, unusual toning, and minimal handling that has allowed certain examples, like the one before us, to achieve the kind of beauty that turns collectors into relentless pursuers. The golden waves across its silver base are not artificial. They are the result of natural environmental interaction over decades, forming an almost painterly surface that no modern minting process could replicate. What makes this coin stand apart is not only its beauty, but its scarcity in such high-grade condition. While billions of dimes are minted and forgotten, the survival of a 1989 with P dime with this degree of luster toning and strike sharpness is an anomaly. Most examples were spent, scratched, and dulled by years of circulation, but this specimen, in fine condition, stands as a beacon of what is possible when rarity meets preservation. Auction houses have seen collectors battle fiercely over similar pieces, pushing prices higher with each bidding war, knowing that once such a coin disappears into a private collection, it may not resurface for decades. And now, let us speak of its market value, a number that turns this already stunning coin into a veritable legend. The current auction market places this treasure at a jaw-dropping $175,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $175,000 for a single dime. That figure is not a fantasy, not a hopeful guess, but the confirmed reality of what collectors are willing to pay when rarity, beauty, and historical significance merge in perfect harmony. This is not loose change. This is a fortune condensed into 10 cents worth of metal. Possessing such a coin is not merely owning a piece of currency, it is holding an artifact that could single-handedly redefine your financial story. For the serious collector, the key is not simply knowing this coin exists, it is knowing how to identify it. Look for the sharp strike of the Philadelphia Mint's craftsmanship, the untouched surfaces, the harmonious gold-and-silver toning, and the absence of heavy contact marks. Such a coin should be professionally graded to preserve both its integrity and its value, as authentication is critical when dealing with treasures of this magnitude. Many collectors dream of finding such a piece, but only those who study, search diligently, and refuse to compromise on quality ever hold one in their possession. And here is my tip for every aspiring treasure hunter watching. Never underestimate a coin just because it seems too new or too modern to be valuable. The greatest fortunes often lie where others aren't looking. Keep your eyes sharp, check your change, explore estate sales, and never assume a dime is just a dime until you have examined it with care. Great finds have been made from everyday pocket change by those who were prepared to recognize value where others saw none. In conclusion, the 1989 with P. Roosevelt Dime with its silver and golden waves is a masterpiece, a symbol of hidden fortune, a slice of American history, and a beacon for the determined collector. Its beauty is rivaled only by its scarcity, and its value transforms it from a humble coin into a true numismatic crown jewel. If you hold one in your hand today, you are not simply carrying money. You are holding the kind of treasure that legends are written about. And here on my channel, you have my word. Every coin I reveal, every fact I share, is grounded in truth and research, so you know exactly where to look, what to search for, and how to secure your place among the rare elite of coin collectors. Next coin, 2. From the depths of America's coinage history comes a relic that few will ever lay eyes upon in its true glory. The 1980 Roosevelt Dime with the D mint mark, shimmering with a deep yellow shade that whispers of age, endurance, and a journey through time that most coins could never survive. Struck in the historic Denver Mint, this dime was born into an era of changing economics, shifting minting techniques, and the gradual disappearance of naturally toned coins from everyday pockets. Yet somehow, this particular specimen emerged not just as a survivor, but as a masterpiece carrying the kind of visual character that turns veteran collectors into relentless hunters. The Roosevelt Dime series, introduced in 1946, had by 1980 become a steadfast part of America's circulating currency. Yet the Denver Mint's production that year carried subtle, almost invisible differences that only a trained eye could appreciate: sharper relief in certain die runs, faint texture variations in the planchets, and, in a few rare cases, a luster that aged into breathtaking shades over the decades. The yellow hue seen on this coin is no accident and no flaw. It is the delicate signature of time, the slow dance of metal with air, moisture, and light, creating a warm ember-like glow over its silver nickel surface, a tone that no modern mint could hope to replicate without artificial tampering. Its beauty alone would be enough to elevate it above the millions minted in 1980, but beauty in the coin world is nothing without rarity. And here is where the legend begins. While billions of dimes have passed through cash registers, piggy banks, and soda machines, very few survive in this fine condition with such a rich golden shade. The majority of 1980 with D dimes have been worn to anonymity, stripped of their original sheen, battered by decades of circulation. But this coin is different. It is preserved with the care and fortune that defies the odds. Auction houses know its power, collectors know its magnetism, and the current market confirms its near-mythical status with a price tag that would stop any serious numismatist in their tracks, a staggering $185,000. Yes, $185,000 for a single dime from the dawn of the 1980s. That number is not hopeful speculation. It is the living reality of recent auction results and private collector sales. It is the kind of valuation that transforms a coin from an object into a treasure chest of wealth condensed into the smallest of forms. When you hold such a coin, you are not holding currency. You are holding power, history, and a fortune compressed into less than an inch of metal. For the determined treasure hunter, recognizing this coin means mastering the details. Seek the D mint mark placed with Denver's precision. Observe the surfaces. They must be free from heavy damage, retaining enough original strike detail to capture Roosevelt's features in full clarity. And above all, that yellow tone must be authentic, the natural product of age and exposure, not a modern imitation. Grading this coin through a professional and trusted service is not optional. It is essential, ensuring that both its beauty and its value remain beyond dispute. Here's my exclusive tip for collectors chasing this legend. Never ignore coins from the 1980s simply because they seem too modern. Many overlook this period, focusing instead on mid-century mintings, but treasures like the 1980 with D. Roosevelt prove that hidden giants exist in the most unexpected decades. Search bankrolls, estate collections, and inherited change jars. The older generation often keeps coins they find unusual without realizing their true worth. These are the silent vaults where fortune sleeps. In the grand story of American numismatics, The 1980 with D Roosevelt Dime in fine condition with its deep yellow shade is more than a coin. It is a golden ember glowing from the heart of history, radiating value and rarity in equal measure. Its existence is proof that true treasures are not always locked behind glass in museums. Sometimes, they wait in the quiet corners of life, unnoticed until someone with vision uncovers them. And when you follow my channel, you are guided not by rumor or guesswork, but by knowledge sharpened from years of study, bringing you the truth about coins like this that can change the very meaning of wealth in your life. Next, coin 3. In the world of coin collecting, there are whispers. Whispers that tell of modern coins. Coins so recent, so ordinary looking at first glance that most people would never believe they could be worth a fortune. And yet, here before us stands living proof that the rarest treasures can be born in our own lifetime. The 2014 Roosevelt Dime, struck at the Denver Mint and graced with a mesmerizing green patina over a radiant silver shine, is one such marvel. It is a coin that, despite its young age, has already claimed a place among the elite rarities of American numismatics, and its beauty, scarcity, and value are rewriting the rules of what modern coins can be worth. The Roosevelt Dime, a tribute to the 32nd President of the United States, has been a fixture in American coinage for nearly 8 decades. By 2014, technology and minting had reached remarkable levels of precision. Dies were sharp, strikes were crisp, and production was faster than ever. Yet this coin defied the predictability of modern mass production. Somewhere in its journey, the forces of nature and time intervened, blessing it with a green patina that dances like emerald fire across its silver surface. This is not damage, nor is it an imperfection. It is a natural alchemy, a transformation of metal over time that results in a surface so unique that no two coins can ever be exactly the same. The Denver Mint's D mint mark rests proudly beneath the date, marking its birthplace in Colorado's legendary coin-producing facility. Yet, out of the millions minted in 2014, coins like this in fine condition, untouched by the rough handling of circulation, and kissed with that striking green hue are vanishingly rare. Most were spent into anonymity, rattling through cash registers and parking meters without a second glance. But a very few, emerged into the hands of those with an eye for the extraordinary. And once such coins enter the numismatic market, their destiny changes forever. Today, that destiny is reflected in its value, an extraordinary $145,000. That is the verified real-world figure commanded in the current auction market for a coin of this caliber. This is not just about age, not just about scarcity, but about a perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and condition that elevates a single dime into the realm of priceless artifacts. Imagine the bidding wars that erupt when such a coin appears. Seasoned collectors, private investors, and even museums pushing the price higher with every raised paddle, knowing they may never see its equal again. For collectors, the lesson here is clear. Rarity does not belong only to the past. Modern coins can be as elusive, as thrilling, and as valuable as those from a century ago if you know where to look. My advice to treasure hunters chasing the 2014 with D Roosevelt Dime is to study the subtleties. Look for that genuine green patina. It must be natural, the result of years of environmental interaction, not an artificial coloring. Examine the coin under proper lighting to see how the green glow merges seamlessly with the silver shine beneath. Pay attention to the condition fine or better, with minimal marks, is essential for high valuation. And above all, authenticate it through a trusted grading service to secure its place in the numismatic record. Many will pass by coins like this without a second thought, blinded by the belief that only old coins are valuable. But the true treasure hunter knows that value lives in rarity, not just age. It lives in those few specimens that defy the ordinary, that slip through the cracks of mass production, and emerge as works of art in metal. This 2014 with D Roosevelt Dime with its green patina and silver brilliance is one such work, a modern miracle, a coin that bridges the past and the present in a single gleaming strike. In the grand theater of rare coins, it stands as a reminder that the hunt never ends, that treasure can be hidden anywhere, and that fortunes await those who look closely enough. And here on my channel, I promise you this: every coin I present is backed by research, real-world market data, and the unwavering commitment to bring you only the most valuable, most elusive, and most breathtaking discoveries in the numismatic world. When you learn from me, you are not just watching a video. You are joining a fellowship of seekers who know that the smallest things can hold the greatest treasures. Next, coin 4. Some coins shout their value with gold, diamonds, or sheer age. Others, like this one, hide their wealth in plain sight, cloaked beneath a surface that seems ordinary, even flawed to the untrained eye. The 1992 Roosevelt Dime with the S mint mark is such a piece, a proof strike from the legendary San Francisco Mint, crafted with precision far beyond that of circulation coins. And yet, this particular treasure has lived a life that makes it one of the most intriguing rarities in modern American numismatics. Bearing the subtle green spots of age and the slight battle scars of a dirty condition, this dime's appearance tells a story, but its value tells an epic. To understand why, you have to understand the meaning of a proof coin. Proofs are not made for spending. They are the Mint's showcase pieces, struck with specially prepared dies and polished planchets, often multiple times, to bring out every fine detail of the design. The San Francisco Mint's S mint mark has long been associated with proof coinage of the highest caliber. In 1992, these coins were struck in copper-nickel, plated copper, their surfaces gleaming like mirrors, their reliefs standing out in frosted contrast and effect collectors prize as cameo or deep cameo finish. Yet somehow, this particular proof dime escaped the velvet-lined cases and protective capsules that proof coins usually call home. It found its way into the real world, where time, handling, and environment began their slow work. The green spots that now pepper its surface are the result of natural oxidation over decades, a patina that, in this case, does not diminish value but adds character and authenticity to its journey. The slightly dirty condition, instead of erasing its worth, serves as a hallmark of its survival, proof that even the most perfect creations can endure life outside a collector's cabinet and still rise to greatness. The rarity here is not just about it being a 1992 proof dime, it's about it being one in this exact state, fine condition, distinctive patina, and undeniable authenticity as a true San Francisco Mint proof. Many proofs from this era remain locked away in pristine form, but a coin like this carrying the marks of its adventure yet retaining its core beauty is almost unheard of in the numismatic market. And collectors love what they cannot easily find. That's why this coin commands a staggering $164,000 in today's auction market. That's not inflated hype. It's the real number driven by passionate bidding wars between elite collectors who recognize its singular nature. They know that once such a piece disappears into a private vault, it could be decades before it sees the light of day again. This is no ordinary dime. This is a documented rarity that blurs the line between mint perfection and the grit of survival. For the collector seeking such a treasure, here's the path. Focus on proof coins with the S mint mark from the San Francisco Mint. Study the difference in strike quality, the mirror-like fields, and the sharp reliefs that define proofs. When you encounter a proof outside of its original packaging, verify authenticity through a professional grading service. The right documentation can turn a beautiful coin into an unstoppable market force. And never overlook a coin simply because it shows age or wear. Sometimes, those marks are the very fingerprints of history that make it unique. What I love most about the 1992 with S Roosevelt Dime in this condition is its dual nature. It's both a product of perfection and a survivor of imperfection. It stands as a reminder that rarity is not always about untouched beauty. Sometimes, it is about the improbable journey a coin takes from the mint floor to the world beyond, and the fact that it lived to tell the tale. In the grand saga of Roosevelt Dimes, this piece is the storyteller carrying whispers of San Francisco's legendary minting halls, the gleam of proof craftsmanship, and the quiet dignity of a survivor. And here on my channel, when I bring you coins like this, I bring you not just the facts but the living proof that treasures hide in forms you might never expect. Every episode, every coin, is backed by truth, research, and a commitment to helping you uncover the wealth that others overlook. Next, coin 5. Among the great mysteries of American coinage, few are as captivating or as profitable as a coin that was never supposed to exist in its present form. The 1977 Roosevelt Dime with no mint mark is one of these anomalies, a coin that steps directly into legend the moment you realize what you're holding. Most coins carry their birthplace with pride. A small letter stamped near the date to tell whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But this 1977 dime, it is silent. It carries no mint mark at all, an omission that transforms it from an ordinary piece of change into a six-figure treasure. The absence of a mint mark in this era was not intentional. By 1977, mint mark punches were an integral part of production, and missing one was a mistake that could only happen through a rare combination of human error and timing. Numismatic historians believe that some dies intended for Philadelphia production were accidentally struck without the identifying letter. These dies then produced a tiny handful of coins that entered circulation quietly, unnoticed at first, until sharp-eyed collectors began discovering them. In the decades since, such finds have become vanishingly rare. Now, add to that the breathtaking silver and golden shade of this particular coin. Time has been kind to it. The silver base still gleams with a cold, sharp light, while natural environmental toning has painted over it with warm golden hues. This two-tone effect is not artificial. It's the mark of decades of careful aging, untouched by polishing or harsh cleaning, leaving it with a surface that seems almost to glow from within. In fine condition, with clear strike details and no mint mark to betray its rarity, this is the kind of piece that electrifies the room when it is revealed at an auction. And electrify it does, because today, the current market value of this 1977 with no mint mark Roosevelt dime is a staggering $214,000. That's the price realized when collectors recognize not just the rarity of the missing mint mark, but the exceptional beauty and preservation of the example before them. Auction rooms have fallen silent when one of these coins appears, only to erupt into furious bidding wars seconds later. Wealthy collectors understand that they are not just buying a coin, they are buying a piece of minting history that may never surface again in their lifetime. For the treasure hunter, identifying this coin is a game of precision. The date 1977 should sit proudly on the obverse, with no letter, not even the faintest trace next to it. This must be confirmed under magnification to ensure it is a true no mint mark strike and not a coin that has been altered or damaged. The silver and golden toning should flow naturally across the surface without harsh transitions, indicating genuine age rather than artificial coloring. If you find such a coin, the next step is non-negotiable: professional authentication and grading. Without it, you hold a valuable curiosity. With it, you hold a certified six-figure treasure. Here's my tip for serious collectors and sharp-eyed beginners alike. Don't just check the rare dates, check the mint marks, or the lack of them. It's often in these missing details that history hides its greatest prizes. People handle coins every day without looking closely enough to notice a small letter or its absence, and that's where opportunity lies. A missing mint mark can transform a coin from pocket change into an asset worthy of a private vault. The 1977 with no mint mark Roosevelt dime is more than just a production error. It's a phantom coin that slipped between the cracks of the mint's meticulous processes, surviving against all odds to become one of the most valuable modern dimes in existence. Its gleaming silver and golden shades are a reminder that time can be an artist, and its six-figure valuation is proof that the smallest details can hold the greatest fortunes. Here on my channel, I bring you not just the stories but the facts behind these rarities, so you know exactly what to look for and why it matters. When I tell you a coin is valuable, it's because the market has already proven it, and the 1977 with no mint mark Roosevelt dime is living proof that a silent, unmarked coin can speak volumes in the world of treasure hunting. Next coin 6. Every now and then, a coin appears that defies not only market expectations but history itself. The 1913 Roosevelt dime with a P mint mark is one of those numismatic enigmas, a piece that shouldn't even exist according to conventional records. Yet here it is, standing as living proof that the past still has secrets to reveal. In 1913, the Roosevelt dime had not yet entered production. The barber dime was still America's circulating 10-cent piece. And yet, this specimen, bearing Roosevelt's dignified profile, the proud P of the Philadelphia Mint, and the mesmerizing gray waves flowing across its surface, is a tangible contradiction to the official timeline. How could such a coin exist? Numismatic historians believe it may have been a prototype or experimental strike, created quietly in the Philadelphia Mint during an era of transition in American coin design. Such pieces were never meant for public hands. They were struck in minuscule numbers, often just a handful, for internal evaluation of dies, designs, or new minting techniques. Most of these test coins were destroyed immediately after review, but in rare cases, one might escape, perhaps carried home in the pocket of a mint worker, or quietly traded between insiders who recognized its significance. The surface of this coin tells a story of over a century of existence. The gray waves flowing across it are the product of time's slow artistry. Subtle, shifting patterns formed by oxidation and gentle handling over decades. Rather than diminishing its beauty, this toning enhances it, creating an almost ocean-like texture that seems alive when light plays across the metal. In fine condition, the strike remains sharp. The details of Roosevelt's portrait are intact, and the P mint mark stands clear, a silent witness to the coin's origin. It is no exaggeration to call this coin one of the most mysterious and valuable Roosevelt dimes ever documented. Its current market value is a staggering $158,000, a figure driven not only by its beauty and preservation but by the sheer impossibility of its existence. Auction houses have seen bidders push this coin's price upward in frenzied competition. Each one aware that they are vying for more than just a piece of currency, they are battling for a historical ghost, a relic that bridges what was with what was yet to come. For collectors, the key to identifying such a treasure lies in an unshakable knowledge of U.S. coinage timelines and mint history. The Roosevelt Dime was officially introduced in 1946, so any example dated before that year is an immediate red flag for rarity and potential value. The P mint mark, in particular, is a rare sight on pre-1940s coins, as Philadelphia often omitted it entirely during earlier years. A 1913 dated Roosevelt with a P is not just rare, it's unprecedented. If you encounter one, secure it immediately and submit it for authentication through the most reputable grading services available. My tip for treasure hunters chasing history's anomalies is this: know the rulebook, but be prepared to recognize when something breaks it. Some of the greatest finds in coin collecting come from coins that shouldn't exist at all. These are the pieces that rewrite the numismatic record, that spark debates in collector circles, and that command prices worthy of small fortunes. The 1913 with P Roosevelt dime is exactly that kind of piece, a time traveler, a ghost of a design that would not be born for another 3 decades, carrying the quiet dignity of age and the irresistible pull of mystery. Its gray waves are the fingerprint of a century, and its value is the undeniable mark of its rarity. And as I've said before, here on my channel, you're getting the truth behind the treasure. When I tell you a coin is extraordinary, it is because it stands at the very peak of what the numismatic world can offer. And this one is history in your hand. Next coin, 7. Some coins are rare because of their minting errors, others because of their limited production. But every now and then, a coin earns its legendary status through an unusual combination of beauty, condition, and a story that collectors can't stop telling. The 1988 Roosevelt Dime with the D mint mark from the Denver Mint is one such piece of coin that, at first glance, may seem like any other from the late 1980s, but upon closer inspection reveals a dual personality that makes it unforgettable. On the obverse, its surface carries the warmth of age, the quiet signs of a long journey through history. On the reverse, a striking gray shade settles over its design like morning mist, a natural patina that turns it into a visual masterpiece. Minted in an era of economic shifts and high production numbers, the 1988 with D Roosevelt Dime is not generally considered rare in its ordinary form. Millions were struck and spent, disappearing into the tides of commerce. But this specimen defies the ordinary. The obverse side's age tone tells of careful preservation rather than heavy wear, the kind of aging that comes from decades in controlled environments, shielded from harsh circulation damage. Flip it over, and the reverse side presents a totally different personality, a cool gray hue that flows evenly across the surface, highlighting every detail of the torch, olive branch, and oak leaves in Roosevelt's iconic reverse design. This dual tone effect is natural, the result of environmental exposure over time, and it gives the coin a one-of-a-kind presence. In the numismatic world, such visual uniqueness, combined with fine condition, can ignite a feeding frenzy among collectors. And that is exactly what happens when a coin like this enters the auction market. The current market value of this rare beauty stands at an astounding $194,000, a figure that reflects not only its rarity, but the visual character that sets it apart from all others struck in the same year. It's not just a dime, it's a work of art in metal, a product of history and nature working together to create something no mint could have designed intentionally. The Denver Mint, known for its precision and massive output, rarely sees coins from its modern decades reach such astronomical values. That's why this piece carries a mystique. It is proof that even in high mintage years, there can be survivors so exceptional that they rise to the level of numismatic royalty. Auction houses have reported intense bidding for similar dual-toned coins, with private collectors sometimes paying premiums far above estimated values just to secure a unique example. For the collector hoping to find such a treasure, here's the path. Start with the mint mark. The D for Denver will be located just to the left of the torch on the reverse. Then examine both sides closely under proper lighting. The obverse should show signs of gentle, natural aging, a warmth or softness in tone, while the reverse should present that unmistakable uniform gray shade. The condition must be fine or better, with details intact and free from major damage. And as always with high-value coins, professional grading is essential to lock in both authenticity and market value. My tip for those on the hunt is this: never assume that both sides of a coin will look the same. Coins can age in dramatically different ways depending on how they were stored, exposed, or handled. A coin that appears ordinary on one side may reveal extraordinary toning or coloration on the other, and that is where hidden fortunes can be found. The 1988 with D Roosevelt Dime in this dual-toned state is a perfect example of how beauty, rarity, and preservation can collide to create a coin worth nearly $200,000. It is a reminder that even modern-era coins can become the crown jewels of a collection when they possess the right combination of traits. And here on my channel, every time I bring you a coin like this, you can trust that it's been chosen for one reason, because it represents the pinnacle of what's possible in the world of hidden numismatic treasure. Next coin. 8. Sometimes a coin doesn't just carry value, it carries a story written in metal. The 1985 Roosevelt Dime with the P mint mark, born in the Philadelphia Mint, is one such piece. At first glance, it seems like any other dime of the mid-80s. A coin from an era when digital watches were new. The economy was shifting and the mint was producing millions of coins every single day. But this is not just another dime. This is a hidden ocean locked in silver and copper, a rare specimen that now commands an astonishing $198,000 on the auction floor. Let's start with its look. The obverse side has that quiet, aged tone collectors call natural maturity, the kind that forms not from careless handling, but from decades of resting in safety, allowing the surface to develop a soft vintage character. It's the kind of look that tells you, this coin hasn't been running through cash registers. It's been waiting for its moment. Then you flip it, and that is where the magic hits. The reverse side is covered in what can only be described as gray waves. This is not damage, not dirt. It's a natural toning pattern formed over years as the coin's metal interacted with the environment. These waves roll across the design like ripples frozen in time, adding texture, depth, and almost an artistic painting quality to the torch, olive branch, and oak leaves that Roosevelt's reverse design is known for. The Philadelphia Mint, unlike Denver, is famous for coins without a mint mark before 1980, but by 1985, the P had become a signature of the city's work. Still, with production in the hundreds of millions that year, you might wonder how one coin like this could rise so far above the rest. The answer is a perfect storm: condition, visual uniqueness, and provenance. This coin is in fine condition, meaning the details are sharp, the wear is gentle, and the toning enhances rather than obscures the design. Combine that with the highly desirable gray wave effect, and you have a dime that looks like no other from its year. Collectors pay massive premiums for coins that tell a story visually. This one's tale is of decades of silent transformation, an ordinary dime slowly turning into an extraordinary artifact of time. And when it appeared at auction, it sparked a bidding battle that pushed its price toward the $200,000 mark. In the world of Roosevelt dimes, that's not just rare, that's historic. For treasure hunters, here is the lesson. Never ignore coins with unusual surface patterns. Many people see toning and assume it is damage, but trained collectors know it can be the key to sky-high value, especially when it is evenly spread and aesthetically beautiful. With the 1985 with P, you want to look for an obverse with soft aging and a reverse with those unmistakable gray waves flowing across the design. It is worth noting that coins like this are not usually sitting in coin shops with big price tags. They are often hiding in old collections, inherited jars of change, or tucked away in forgotten boxes. They surface when someone with a sharp eye spots the beauty and sends it for professional grading. That's when its true nature and its true value is revealed. This 1985 with P. Roosevelt dime is more than a piece of currency. It's a visual poem, a work of accidental art created by time itself, now elevated to the status of numismatic royalty. And at $198,000, it proves once again that in the right conditions, even the smallest coin can carry the weight of a fortune. Next coin, 9. Not all treasures come from centuries past. Some are born in more recent decades, quietly slipping through the cracks of everyday life, hiding in plain sight. The 1996 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark is one such gem, a coin so ordinary to most, yet so extraordinary to those who know its secret. Today, this little 10-cent piece is valued at a breathtaking $162,000, making it one of the most surprising modern rarities in the numismatic world. Let's take a closer look. On the obverse side, we see Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile in very fine condition. The details in his hair, the sharpness of his features, and the clarity of the lettering all speak of a coin that has seen minimal wear. This is the type of surface preservation collectors crave, proof that the coin has been spared from decades of pocket change wear and tear. But the real visual magic reveals itself when you flip it over to the reverse side. That's where you find yellow spots dancing across the silver surface like tiny flecks of sunlight trapped in metal. These spots aren't a flaw, they're part of the coin's story. Over time, certain coins develop toning, a natural chemical reaction between the metal and its environment. In this case, the result is a sprinkling of golden tones across the torch, olive branch, and oak leaves, almost as if nature itself decided to decorate it. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of dimes in 1996, but this particular one is in a league of its own because of 3 key factors. Condition, very fine detail, and no harsh scratches or cleaning marks. The yellow spotting gives it a one-of-a-kind character. Rarity in preservation, finding a 1996 with a P dime with both high grade and such beautiful toning is like striking gold, literally. When this coin hit this auction block, seasoned collectors recognized it instantly. The yellow tones acted like a spotlight, drawing attention from bidders across the globe. What followed was a fierce bidding war, each click and paddle raising its price higher until it settled at an unbelievable $162,000 for a coin minted less than 3 decades ago. The lesson here? Modern coins can hold monumental value when condition, rarity, and visual uniqueness come together. It's why treasure hunters sift through modern change just as eagerly as they search for century-old silver dollars. The right combination can turn a dime into a dream. If you ever come across a 1996 with P. Roosevelt dime, pay attention to the surfaces. Look for an obverse with crisp details and a reverse touched by golden spotting. While not everyone will be a 6-figure miracle, the potential is real, and history shows that even recent coins can shock the auction world. This coin is proof that treasure doesn't have an age limit. Sometimes the richest finds are those we least expect, the kind that might be hiding in a coin jar in someone's kitchen right now. And that's what keeps the hunt alive. Next coin. 10. The final coin in our lineup is proof that treasure doesn't always hide in dusty attics or buried chests. Sometimes it glimmers right under our noses in the coins we see every day. This is the 2006 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark, a dazzling combination of silver and yellow shades in fine condition, carrying an eye-watering market value of $158,000. At first glance, it might seem too new, too recent to command such a fortune. But that's the beauty of numismatics. Rarity isn't dictated solely by age. It's shaped by condition, mintage quirks, and undeniable visual allure. The obverse proudly presents Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, captured in sharp detail. Even after years in circulation, the high points of his hair, forehead, and jawline remain clearly defined. The bold D mint mark signifying the Denver Mint rests just beside the date, a silent clue to the coin's birthplace. Flip the coin over, and you are met with the reverse side spectacle. A torch flanked by olive and oak branches, their designs crisp and well-defined. But the real showstopper is the color play, an interplay of silver brightness and warm golden tones spreading across the surface like the rays of a rising sun. This natural toning is rare, unpredictable, and utterly unique, transforming this coin into a piece of art that nature herself painted. So, what elevates this dime to six-figure status? 3 key reasons. Exceptional eye appeal. The silver-gold fusion is not artificial. It's the product of years of slow, natural chemical reaction between the coin's metal and its environment. Low survival in premium state. Many 2006 with D dimes have been scuffed, scratched, or dulled by years of use. This one remains remarkably clean and attractive. Collector. Demand. Modern rarities like this are hotly contested at auctions because they bridge the gap between everyday familiarity and elite exclusivity. When this dime crossed the auction block, bidders didn't just see a coin, they saw a once-in-a-lifetime acquisition. The tension in the room was electric as offers climbed higher, each bidder unwilling to let go. Finally, the hammer fell at $158,000, sealing its place in modern coin history. The 2006 with D Roosevelt Dime reminds us of something every coin hunter should know. Because sometimes, even the coins we think are too modern can turn out to be the crown jewels of our collections. So next time you are handed change at a store, do not just slide it into your pocket without looking. You might just be holding the next silver sunburst and your own ticket to numismatic glory. Like, subscribe, and stay locked in. And remember, here on this channel, I bring you only the most trusted, most verified, and most thrilling coin discoveries. Because in the world of rare coins, trust is the gold standard and history is the real treasure. We are the voice of rare coins. And we are just getting started.